Hey everybody, how you doing today? It is June 27th, 2:50 p.m. Elusive One coming at you live with team member Mike Pops. We are here with Jason at the site where we did the episode for Finding Bigfoot. Animal Planet's Finding Bigfoot going on 4 years ago. Wow, you met 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Lo and behold, and unbeknownst to us, Jason reached out to us. And we're going to keep this area confidential under wraps because of ongoing research. So we're not going to be naming any landmarks or any names to help keep it confidential. But Jason did reach out to us and said he experienced some things around this area. At that time, we didn't know he was talking about the same area. But in talking with Jason further, lo and behold, Pops was doing the talking with him and came to the realization that this was in the exact same spot where we filmed the episode, around this general location. So Jason, first off, thank you for joining us here today on such a short notice. We sure do appreciate your promptness. I was out here last night and by myself. Nothing happened, and nothing's happened for the past couple times that we've been out here. But when we did the episode, we did get that wood knock down the road here a little ways, which was awesome. That's what keeps us coming back. And not to mention around this area as well, Pops has also had a sighting, and there's other people that have had strange occurrences happen. Now, for you, what happened here? I guess when did it all start off for you?
Back in 2011, I was camping just not too far down the road here, and about 2 o'clock in the morning, my dogs started growling and barking underneath the topper in the bed of my truck.
Okay.
And I woke up kind of drowsy and heard something hit the side of my camper.
Mm.
Well, I grabbed my flashlight, went outside to quiet the dogs down, didn't think nothing of it. Well, I smelled kind of a musky odor in the air, figured, well, maybe there's a bear in the area.
Right.
Shined my flashlight around, couldn't see anything. Went back in, went to bed, nothing the rest of the night. But I did hear a couple, like someone, I thought maybe someone was out here screwing around.
So let me ask you, when you heard that thing on the side of your camper, was it on the side of your camper or on the top of it?
It was on the side.
On the top of it. Okay, on the side of it. Now, did it sound like something was being pelted or thrown, or just like a big whack?
Sounded like something being thrown.
Okay. So probably maybe a pine cone or a pebble of some kind, basically, maybe.
Figured maybe a squirrel was up in the trees
Sure.
messing around.
Sure. So whatever it was, you think it was coming down from an angle, hitting the
possibly.
side. Okay. Very interesting. And so then you went out, you investigated, smelled something, and then can you pick it back up from there?
Well, I did hear, my buddy also came out. And
Okay.
we did hear like someone hitting a tree with a hammer.
Sure.
And we're like, well, I wonder if someone else is camping out here, maybe chopping some firewood.
Right.
But it was between 2 and 2:30 in the morning.
Huh.
Well, we went to bed and didn't think anything. Went back to bed, didn't think anything of it. Well, as we were getting up ready to go out hunting the next morning, I went around the backside of the camper and I found 6 rocks on the ground right next to the camper.
Huh.
And I said, Carl, come here. I said, you remember rocks on the ground here? And they were about the size, about that big.
Okay.
And he's like, no, they weren't here when we set up.
Sure.
Well, we started looking around. Couldn't find anything out of the ordinary. Nothing had disturbed the camp. So we just kind of left it as is.
Right. Marked it up to something strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. Were the rocks in any particular formation?
No.
No. Just randomly just placed down there, basically. Now, what time of year was this?
This was mid-September.
Okay. And you guys were out here during the hunting season?
During grouse season,
Grouse
yes.
season, gotcha. Okay. In 2011, so that's interesting. So that's the very first thing that kind of happened in this area for you.
Yes.
Okay. Fast forwarding, what would you say number 2?
Number 2, it was probably about 2015. I was walking down a trail, and my buddy and I got into a bunch of birds. And all of a sudden, I just started feeling dizzy, lightheaded. I felt like I was going to vomit. And he started feeling a little ill. And he's like, we need to, I tried to sit down because I was getting disoriented.
Right.
And he said, we got to get out of here.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I don't know what's going on. It just came on all of a sudden, and we got about 100 yards back out of the area, and I felt fine. So we just, okay, maybe I was dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to the truck, drank a half a bottle of water, and we went on with the hunting.
Was this again in September?
In September.
Okay. Okay. Now, with these conditions of disoriented and we talked a little bit about this prior to being on camera here. What other symptoms were you experiencing? Disoriented, dizziness,
Rapid heartbeat.
rapid heartbeat, um, a sense of fear,
Like,
dreaded fear, wanting to get out of the area.
am I going to be able to get out of here?
Oh, okay, all right. Now, and we bring this up, okay, because I think it warrants investigation and proper research. That the friend that he was with, he said was about Pop's size or Mike's size, and Jason being a bigger guy, you felt it first,
Yes.
correct? And
Right
if
now
it
it's
is what
trying to
we're,
reconnect.
I'm sorry, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. If it is what we're thinking, it could be. We can't say for sure, but if it is, then we could be talking about possible infrasound, where a sound wave below the human hearing range hit them, and it seemed like it could have been focused at Jason first, him feeling the first symptoms of it, and then his friend getting whatever was getting, I guess you could say the leftovers for a lack of a better term,
Yeah, we
What-
getting first?
which kind of got them
It's
out of the area because it worked.
reconnecting again.
So what we're trying to do, so if you get, we're with Curtis, that's Mike's son. He's going live on the cell phone. So there's just in case you guys were wondering of the extra voice, there's 4 of us out here. And so then you guys you drank some water and you kind of went on with your day and just marked it up again as something kind of weird.
Something out of the ordinary.
Exactly. So, I mean, infrasound is a sound that is made by animals. It is documented sound. It's also used for crowd control as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it sucks. Pops believes he's dealt with it. I could have possibly dealt with it. I can't say for sure or not. It was done by a Bigfoot. But when my incident in 2016, it was out in Reamer, where mine took place, I was having the rapid heartbeat, and I was just got done eating 2 steaks, and I was going on the s'mores for dessert. About to eat my second s'more, and just wow, out of the blue, my heart was just going bam, just rapidly, really fast. And I had some good friends who had a Bigfoot sighting off of Leech Lake earlier that year, and they were with me, thankfully, and they took me to the emergency room. I had open heart surgery in 2011, so I wasn't going to mess around with that. But I had all the symptoms that you described: rapid heartbeat, trying to pay attention to what they were thinking, saying, but all I could really do was kind of focus on what was happening with my body
Right.
at that time. Again, I can't mark that up to Bigfoot, but that was something that absolutely weird. However, during that whole thing that I was going through, they did hear a couple of vocalizations on the other side of the lake. So, yeah, look at you, little Grizzly Adams over there. You got
The butterfly effect going on.
Don't. I hope you're not hungry. We ate. You're not going to eat them, right? Okay.
Oh, but you know,
Your
with
protein.
with the infrasound and the stuff being thrown, that is MO for this area. It's happened more than once
Yeah.
to me. Also with the mumble talking. What? You want to go home with me? Wow, I make friends.
You smell. You must be sweet.
Something.
Yeah. I know you're sweet in my book.
Oh God.
That didn't come out right.
All
You're a
right,
sweet
I think
person.
I'm
You're a sweet
going- I'm
man.
going
You're a
home.
sweet man. Okay.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Need to know basis. So that was 2015 September for incident number 2 of possible infrasound. We say possible because we can't say for sure, but a lot of people do attribute that to when Bigfoot's around the area or Bigfoot wants them to get out of the area as well. And moving on.
Just this May, I was up here. I brought my nieces up here because I had told them about it, and they were kind of interested. And can you take us and show us?
Mm-hmm.
So I brought them to this site where we're at now, and I found a good stick to do some wood knocks. And I did 3 knocks on the side of this tree here. And within 30 seconds, I got a response due to the southwest of us.
No, it's funny you mentioned you had your nieces. How old are they?
6 years old.
So I've had experiences with younger kids and females. You get more responses with females out in the field. I think it's the juveniles, the younger ones, are more curious than the older ones. I think when we did that reamer, and we had all them gals in reamer.
We
We had three knots
two-
and mumble talk.
Yep, and so there was two young female kids and then an older female adult, about 18
Yeah.
or 19. That's the one that actually heard the mumble
Heard
talk.
the mumble sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just, we got there and it was like, I'm going, what the heck? 'Cause we're getting knocks, we're getting all this stuff going on. And then later on in the evening, I thought, we were talking about it, had have been the females there that probably younger squatches got into the area and they're curious. They're like high school kids,
I think we just got a response.
Did you hear something right there?
Right back that way.
So, with that being said, we're going to go back a little bit deeper and I'm going to bust out the parabolic and continue with what we're doing here. So I'm going to shut the Sony off. Curtis, you mind keeping that rolling if you can, as far as much as we get the signal until it dies out? People, stay tuned. How many people do we have? 10, 12,
Ranging between 4 to 6
That
at
works.
any given time.
80, 100? No, not.
But it was cutting out a lot.
Yeah. So we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
I've had issues.
All right, we'll be back.
Recording.
I think we should probably do some wood knocks just to see if they're around.
All right.
Do that, and I'll have the parabolic. The flies, it sounds like a mini helicopters going right. Look at that tan. Well, I'll tell you what. If they're like the gorillas usually spend the majority of the day, usually in their day beds, staying out of the heat of the summer, the heat of the sun, under the canopy. Here we are, out in the open. I'm enjoying this. I mean, I'm getting a nice tan. You look like you're in an oven yourself.
I'm overdressed.
You are overdressed. And I
Never
wasn't gonna.
bug bites.
I wasn't gonna say anything. You gotta learn the hard way. But I know it's because of the mosquitoes and all that stuff, and you can't be too cautious. But I think they're probably hunkered down right now, to be honest with you, and they're probably under the canopy somewhere where it's nice and cool,
I'd be in a cedar, big cedar grove with
away from the
trees.
bugs.
Yep. High water, impossible.
High land. So, I think we should probably make our way back. These two where we parked, and take it from there. What are your thoughts?
Figure out what the next plan of action is. We're just out scouting.
Out scouting. All right, guys. What I'd like to do is kind of do a vocalization. Since we're already out here, we have nothing to lose. Who knows what's going to happen? But we know one thing that will not happen is nothing will happen if we don't try. I'm going to do the Ohio Haul, or Jason, if you want to do the Ohio Haul. Basically, it's the same vocalization that Boatwell does on Finding Bigfoot.
All right.
You want to give that a shot?
Then give her a whirl.
Yeah, go right ahead. Broadcast from this direction. It was worth a shot. All right, guys. Well, we investigated. We walked back there. Unfortunately, we didn't get any further possible responses. But again, I mean, Mike and I, we both thank you for coming out here and telling us what you've encountered. Have you ever seen one yet?
Back in 2011.
Yeah. And what was that scenario?
I was down by Moose Lake, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I was driving out to go sight my deer rifle in, and I looked out across the field off State Highway 27, and it was walking along the edge of the field, probably 500 yards away from me.
What time of day would you say?
Probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Really? See, I was just saying that yesterday, that, you know, primarily they are nocturnal, but there are also some diurnal occurrences and sightings and stuff like that. When I got bluff charged, it was around that time as well, between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And when we had one walking towards us in one of our research areas closer to the cities, it was probably around that time frame as well, after we were doing some call blasting. That's really, really cool. How, from what you've seen, about 500 yards away, how would you describe it?
Walked on 2 legs, had a long gait. I hollered at it. I rolled down my window, hollered at it, and it actually paused and turned and looked at me. And it was maybe a matter of 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay.
And then it continued walking, turned and walked down a slashing.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, right?
No, my first sighting was, I think, 4 in the afternoon, 3:30, 4 in the afternoon.
Right.
I went and talked to the farmer the next day to see if I could go look to see if there were any tracks. Told him what I thought I saw. He said, feel free to go out in the field, but it had been so dry that fall.
So
There were no tracks, but I did measure the tree line, and it was a good, probably another,
About 7 foot.
it was taller than what I can reach up.
Okay. Huh.
Because his head was above the trees, and I couldn't even touch the top of the trees.
So you got a pretty good, I mean, so it sounds like it made an everlasting impression on you.
That's when I started really getting into this.
Really? Wow. Before that, what were there? I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you get hooked.
You do. It sucks you in like a black hole. Before that day, what was your thoughts on Bigfoot?
Maybe it could exist,
Maybe, yeah.
but no one's ever positive. There's no positive proof.
Right.
But after my sighting, he's out there. There's no doubt about that.
They are there. They are there, no doubt. Exactly. We're right there with you. So when you seen this thing walk in and it paused and looked at you, how would you describe the head? Do you remember that far? Or
It had a humanoid type head,
more roundish?
more roundish. It was a lot of hair, but the eyes were definitive.
Okay. How would you describe the depth of the eyes, or if there were any depth to them?
They were recessed.
Okay. How about the forehead?
Kind of tough to tell from the distance I was.
Sure. What color?
It was a brownish black.
Gotcha. So when it stopped to turn and looked at you, did it just turn its head?
It turned it. It kept its legs going the same direction, but it turned its body like this. That's when I knew it was a bipedal creature.
And why they do that is because their shoulders are above their jawline. They have to turn their whole body like that because for them to turn their head just like that, they can't really see that way. So they have to turn everything like that and able to get in that direction. That's very cool, Jason.
And back in those days, I only had a flip phone. Otherwise, I would have pulled out my smartphone.
Yeah, exactly. How long did you see that for?
Oh, it was probably a good minute and a half.
Really? Wow. And so, off of what you said, 73 there?
27.
27, going out of Moose Lake. Was this before or after the split to 65?
Before, well before.
Really? Amazing. Amazing. Huh. Is right. Yeah. I travel that way all the time to get back down to 35 from up this way. So
I got a report a couple of days ago of one, an albino one spotted out of Moose Lake, but I have not been able to reach the person to get more information.
yours was 2011. How about this one?
This one was recent.
Really?
And I just had a report from a buffalo farmer over by the Salo Wildlife Management area of something that took down one of his buffalo. And it wasn't a bear, and it wasn't a wolf.
Huh. Wow, a buffalo.
The legs are broken, the neck is snapped.
Of a buffalo?
Yeah.
Holy
It's gotta be
smokes.
something got some muscle.
Hell, holy
Even like a
smokes.
mountain lion or a wolf would leave teeth marks.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
bones and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's weird. Buffalo's not a small animal.
So I
Not
was
by
out there.
any means.
I was out there yesterday investigating that.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I thank you again for taking us. I had a great time with you. And what do you think that they are?
There's so much woods out there.
Yeah,
We can't be everywhere at once.
absolutely not.
I mean, new species are being found every day.
No doubt.
Just because there's not positive proof and not one in a zoo doesn't mean he doesn't exist.
Right. I agree.
And I guarantee it's out there. Guaranteed.
Yep.
I've seen them. I know.
I know what I saw.
Yep.
And I'll never quit looking to get a crystal clear picture.
Exactly. And, you know, that's where we're on the same track, and I appreciate that. We're a no-kill organization. We're not going to go out and harvest one just
Same here.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I just can't justify that. But we will shoot them in HD.
Yep, exactly.
Right? To 4K and HD and 1080p and all that good stuff. You know, I had a great time, and keep us posted on your investigations. That'd be great. And I mean, when you come out here, if anything further happens, just let us know. It'd be fun.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you for coming on MNBRT TV and sharing your experience.
Definitely.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you guys too.
Yeah, you know where I'm at.
And
Where I live, so.
so with that being said, you guys, again, thank you one and all for joining us for another episode of MNBR TV. This is going to be also posted up to our YouTube page, so thank you for watching us here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button like a boss, and squatch on.